решение поставлять оружие и боеприпасы на Украину. Это будет разрушено.
폴란드가 K2 전차, K9 자주포, FA-50 경공격기, 다연장 로켓 천무에 이어 보병 전투장갑차 레드백 도입을 검토 중인 것으로 알려졌습니다. 이미 이번 달 19일 국내에서 K2 전차와 K9 자주포의 출고가 시작됐는데요. 빠른 출고와 관련해 러시아 푸틴 대통령은 한국 무기를 견제하는 입장을 보입니다. 러시아는 한국의 각종 무기가 폴란드로 대거 수출되고 있는 현실을 우려의 시선으로 지켜보고 있는데요. 침공 8개월이 지나도록 우크라이나 전쟁에서 확실한 승기를 잡지 못하고 고전하면서 국제적으로 인정받은 K무기가 우크라이나로 흘러들지 않을까 노심초사하는 모습이죠. 폴란드는 기존의 재래식 무기를 우크라이나에 적극적으로 지원하고 있으며 K무기의 신속한 배치와 현지화 개발을 논의 중에 있습니다. 특히 폴란드의 천무 도입은 폴란드 현지에서도 큰 화제가 되며 현지 방송에서는 폴란드군의 중장을 초대해 한국 무기의 장점에 대해 토론합니다.
Following the unjustified Russian aggression on Ukraine, countries on NATO's eastern flank started to take additional steps to boost their defenses. To discuss what these could entail, I am joined here today by Colonel Michał Marciniak, Director of Poland's Special Armament Programs in Ministry of National Defense. Hello and welcome, sir. Very glad to have you with me.
Hello, nice to meet you.
So today, Polish Minister of Defense Mariusz Błaszczak signed a new contract to acquire a new type of weapon. Could you shed some light on what these are?
This is the quite sophisticated artillery system, especially connected with precision strike and long range. It's something new in Polish armed forces. It's quite... we could compare this system to the very famous HIMARS system. It's the same technology.
Okay, so 288 of these Chunmo. So, how they're going to be used in a sense? Do we need this many? Maybe we need more? How do you view this?
The plans for this type of ammunition is to have more than 500 of such type of the launchers. Because of the capacity for the production of the HIMARS system, Polish MOD has decided to divide it into the Korean equipment and American equipment as well. So our plans is to buy, as I mentioned, 500 launchers, such type. As I mentioned, this is some equipment which could be used for the precision strike. It's dedicated targets to launch missiles from the range 80 to almost 300 kilometers.
Right, but from what we noticed recently, Russians are quite fond of using drones, the so-called kamikaze drones. Does Poland have some form of defenses against such weapons?
Yes, the UAV is a typical air threat, and this is the reason why we are building integrated air and missile defense system with the 3 layers. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity to participate in the test of the Wisła system based on the Patriot, US Patriot equipment. And this is the highest layer. Later on, we will have the short-range air defense system called Narew, and the nearest layer is Pilica, and Pilica will have capability to counter-strike against the UAV.
Quite interesting. It's all like the names of rivers, right?
Yes,
so,
it is.
Okay, but do we have similar drones to what, similar kamikaze drones to what the Shahed are, for instance, or some other types of drones? Do we have sort of Polish ones?
Yes, especially from the Polish industry. It's a war-made family. I wouldn't say that it's only one type. We have different types of drones, kamikaze drones. So Polish armed forces are equipped with such type of the equipment.
Okay, so what is on our sort of to-buy list moving forward?
The list of wishes is quite long. But right now we are taking some experience from the Ukrainian conflict, and as we can see, the most important thing is the most important weapon is artillery, especially long range. And this is like the Chunmu launchers and the missiles is to engage the command control centers on our enemy's side. So it's not like from the Second World War that we need to send so many missiles somewhere. This is quite precision missiles which can hit the target with the tolerance of a couple meters only.
But I mean, we actually decided to choose Korea, South Korea of all places. Why this country? I mean, why their equipment?
First of all, Korea has quite good experience, quite good and very advanced equipment. So this is the first reason, and this equipment is very similar to the NATO requirements, even if South Korea is not in the NATO member. This is the first reason. The second one is that the time of deliveries. Usually it's not that we can go to the shop with armament and buy some of them. From the contract signature to the first deliveries, especially for the quite complicated systems, it takes 3 to 5 years. As you know, we cannot wait so long. So that was the decision to look for the other market than the European or the American market for the acquisition of the equipment, of the armament systems.
Right. What about the tanks that Poland has bought recently? Because from what I gathered, the Polish army is already training on how to use them. When will they arrive in the country?
Yes, we are talking about K2 Black Panther tanks, and right now, today was the celebration of the rollout of the first 10 tanks, which will be delivered this year to the Polish Armed Forces, as well as first 24 K9 howitzers, which will be delivered as well. So the K2 tanks will be the main battle tank in the Polish Armed Forces, together with Abrams. But because of the performance of these tanks, both types will be used in by the different brigades.
What are the differences between them?
Especially with the weight of the tank. So the Abrams is a little bit heavier, and K2, because of the weight, can be used in the different part of Poland.
Okay, so meaning a different kind of terrain, but I wonder what kind of terrain.
Yeah, if you can imagine that we have a lot of mud somewhere, and the lakes, rivers. So to cross such type of the terrain, it's much better to use a little bit lighter equipment. And for the heavy and more concrete terrain, you can use heavier ones. But of course, it depends on the tactics.
All right. So do you think that, because from what I noticed over the years, Poland has been gradually building its arsenal and was trying to strengthen its defense systems. But I think the war in Ukraine was this crucial moment, the outbreak of the war, that we decided to sort of intensify these efforts, right? I mean, to what extent is it correlated with the war in Ukraine, and to what extent it's just sort of regular building up of the arsenal?
The modernization plan was created a couple years ago. Existing conflict in Ukraine just forced us to adjust our plans. The HIMARS system were ordered in 2019, so quite long before 24th of February this year. So it means that our plans were quite correct. Right now, what we have learned from this conflict is that artillery is the crucial one. As you can see, there is no air force. Russian Air Force in the air, because of the very strong air defense system operated by Ukrainians. So it means that decision about building integrated air and missile defense system, which was done, to be honest, in 2018, it means it was a good idea and good plans. And right now we do not have to adjust this area. But nevertheless, as I mentioned, artillery is something we needed to add more rifles, to be honest.
Okay, and so when is the closing date for all of these different kinds of equipment to arrive in Poland? Perhaps we'll be able to see them in Drawsko-Pomorskie and some other doing some training activities. What date shall we expect?
I would say that the modernization of the Polish armed forces is the constant. It's not that we have deadline that all equipment should be delivered, because even if we deliver 1,000 tanks, it means that the next generation will be modified. During next couple of years, I wouldn't like to talk about the numbers, exact numbers, but during next couple of years, and I'm talking about the really near future, we will receive a lot of equipment.
Great, exciting times ahead. Thank you so much for your time and for your
Thank
insight.
you very much.
여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 단골이시였습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.